Some people say the woke ideology tells you that you shouldn't be stoic, you should be vulnerable. But I will tell men, be very careful who you are vulnerable to.
With,
because as a matter of fact, people will make fun of you.
Exactly.
People that you think that you are sharing deep and emotional stuff with and that you're expecting that will carry you and help you, chest or go through whatever terrible situation you're going through, they'll be the ones to mock you. And for me, I would say that for men, you should choose your friends carefully, but most importantly, choose your woman very carefully. Because when you love a woman, that is one person that you can easily be vulnerable to. Right?
Yeah.
My wife is someone that I have, even before we got married, I've cried in her arms and she held me like a baby. See, bro, if you don't get anything right in life, get your woman right. Let me not talk further.
We'll talk.
It's S1 Glasses.
What's up, guys? How far? How you doing? This is another amazing episode of the Gist and Glasses podcast. My name is MC Muse, and of course, you know how it is. We gather here every Friday to create this content for you guys to, keep updated with us, wherever you are. You could be in the gym, in the salon, getting your hair done, or whatever. Just listening to us on YouTube, on Spotify, or whatever platform you choose within the both of them. And today we are back here in the studio to bring you guys some amazing gist and of course amazing conversations. Like I said before, my name is MC Muse, and of course I have the amazing Storm. Taddy, what's up, my man? How you doing?
Man,
I like the drip first of all, the hair and the scarf.
It's a new thing I'm trying out, and I seem to like it. My hair is getting longer, so
yeah, the hair is actually like full, and there's like a lot of it. So I think when I'm going to start locking my hair, maybe when I get to like 50, that's what's my hair. When I get to like 50 years,
that's when you start locking.
That's when I start locking my hair. I want to be like Jiga. You know that Jiga look when he was like,
he cut it off.
Yeah, he did. He did for his 30th.
Like, but yeah, he's a billionaire. So
and that's another thing. I want to be a billionaire first. Before you do certain things like having locks or having tattoos, if you don't have money and you have locks and tattoos, you look dangerous. And then, guys, we have the amazing Third Music. What's up, my man? How far?
Yeah,
it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute.
I mean, it's just crazy how this thing happened, but
don't worry, maybe before we start, you give us the gist of how everything happened. So, Third is a super amazing artist. He's a cinematographer. He's a psychologist. He's a father. Yeah. He's a husband of one wife. Yeah.
And the father of one son.
Father of one son. For now. More to come. And you know that thing when they say when you buy one, you get one free, right? So we had Third, and he came with a guest unannounced, and we were like, and we're like, bro, jump on set and let's do this shit together.
Super smart.
I'm telling you guys,
super smart.
Like, you don't want to know the amount of amazing people that we have in this city. Like, we have some super great, talented people, and of course, this is what we are going to be doing on this podcast. We're going to be bringing you guys some of the best minds that you could ever meet in the city of Jos. Right? Yeah. So I'll just let him to introduce himself because I didn't really... I know him, but I don't know him like that to introduce him. So I'll just let him introduce himself real quick and then we'll dive into this conversation.
My name is Il Connect. Like he just said, I'm a record producer.
The best.
No. Dope producer. Stop being humble.
I am a...
You know this
I'm a
now.
dope record producer.
Stop being humble.
You
No, it's true.
I get your point, though. I get your point.
Good.
Very, very, very good.
Yes.
What's that your signature? Please say that.
Connected successful.
Connected success. Not the Chinese version.
Yeah,
not the connected.
Not the Chinese
version.
version.
Okay, so today we are going to be having conversations with like you can see we have guys in the studio, so we're going to be having conversations about mental health, and the topic of today's conversation is Naman you be. So in whichever perspective you decide to want to look at it from, we're going to be talking about men's mental health, things that men have to go through. We're going to be talking about the challenge, some of the challenge, not all, but some of the challenges that we feel that a lot of men face, and how they would be able to overcome some of these things. And we started some conversations before, we started shooting and all of that. So I'd just like us to dive deep into some of these conversations. So first off, I would like to say, so I'll just ask these questions and we can just take turns, going over them.
Yeah.
What is when they say, okay, so this is a man, what is the response that people should have? What is that thing that, this is what a man should be like? Like, I don't know if I put the question correctly.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't subscribe to all those woke ideologies that you say a man is whoever who identifies as a man. But one, a man is someone born with male reproductive organs.
Bam.
First of
Well
all,
established.
Yeah.
Anything other than that, you are not a man.
Not transitioned.
You are not. And then a man should be able to lead, protect, and provide. Those are some of the major responsibilities that make you a man. Because we have males out there that do not lead, do not provide, do not protect.
Yeah.
And some of them are part of the problems we have in society.
Yeah.
So when we are talking about men, those are not
They're
part
not
of the
in the
conversation.
picture. They're not in the
So
conversation.
that is who a man is to me.
Yeah. So I also subscribe to the same thing. You understand? You have to lead. You have to be able to protect. You have to be able to provide. But at the same time, I think that you have to be very strong, because the world that we live in today, to be able to do these things, you have to be strong.
True.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, and I think that we live in an anti-men world today.
True.
People are just trying to knock men down, really, and you have to be strong, because there's something that I've always subscribed to, that strong men are what makes society work.
Yeah.
In fact,
If we don't have strong men, society is going to break down.
True.
Really. So I think that's one of the most important things. But at the same time, strength rather comes in different forms. But I guess as we go further, we'll talk about all of that.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
No. They've said everything.
Okay, so
The points of views I agree with.
we often get to hear this term, Naman you be, right? So a lot of people use this term to say or pass certain messages. So you have people who use the term, like I use it a lot. Like certain things happen and you're like, Naman you be, nothing is up. You just, for me, that's how I use it most of the time. I don't whine and cry over, not like I don't whine and whine. When people whine about
make a big deal.
and make a big deal over certain issues that you can just, shove it off and keep going with your life. So when you hear this statement, Naman you be, what comes to your mind? How do you feel like? How does it resonate with you guys?
So personally, I don't really like that term, Naman you be. Why? Because men deal with a lot of things. There are real things that men actually go through. And because of all these Naman you be, and all of that, a lot of men tend to keep these things, inside. And they don't talk about these things. And what is the end result of all these things? Depression. And depression is real, my guy. Depression is very, very real. It's something that in this climb we don't talk about enough, right? And it is a problem. It is a very, very big problem. You understand? So I do not really subscribe to that Naman you be. You're supposed to be strong, even when there's a lot that you are going through, just carry it like that and then just go with it. Are there cases whereby you need to do that? Yes, I agree. But then you need to talk about some stuff.
True.
Do you understand? You need to talk about some stuff. If not, that man where you will carry a lot of trauma into the society and you cause a lot of problems, not just for people, but for yourself as well.
I see certain figures, like they tell you that X amount of men commit suicide every year, X amount of men commit suicide every month, every week, every day, every hour. And sometimes when I see those figures, to be very, very honest, I just feel like this is Lamba. Because those figures are significantly alarming.
It's actually 80% of all suicide cases in the world are men.
Yeah.
So it's a high number, actually.
So when I see, I'm like, for real, like, so in my mind, I try to have a mental picture of what those figures look like. So just imagine, let's say, the Zaria Road Stadium now, for example, and they tell you that this amount of people die every year from suicide and they are men. So in my head, I've tried to imagine that volume of people that die, like, globally every year. And it is a lot of people. It's a lot of people that go down every year.
You see, I think that the whole thing about the whole Naman Yubi thing, right? It comes from the concept of stoicism, right? So when they say someone is stoic, is the ability to just emotionally, especially for men, to emotionally regulate. No matter how terrible the situation might be, you're expected to just carry on like that. Now, Ilconnect has said a lot about that, and I subscribe to all that he has said. But I also think that it has to do with the context of the situation.
I was going to say that.
Yes. I also think that it has, because Naman Yubi can be either an encouragement or it can be a way to put you down.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact. But what I often say is that you have to choose, as a man, you ought to be stoic. You have to emotionally regulate. You understand? Because a lot of people are depending on you, as a matter of fact. Because, okay, for example, I lost my dad December last year, right? And he died to cancer, right? And when I got married, my wife, and the relationship that my wife and my dad built, it was just an amazing relationship. So she became even closer to my dad some way than me. And if I was breaking down, how will I be strong for her?
True.
So I feel like the statement, Naman Yubi, though it may not be the greatest statement, but I think that there are times that indeed you have to brace up and be a man, right? You have to be stoic. Some people say, the woke ideology tells you that you shouldn't be stoic, you should be vulnerable, but I will tell men, be very careful who you are vulnerable to. Because as a matter of fact, people will make fun of you. Exactly. People that you think that you are sharing deep and emotional stuff with and that you're expecting that will carry you and help you, chest or go through whatever terrible situation you're going through, they'll be the ones to mock you. And for me, I would say that for men, you should choose your friends carefully, but most importantly, choose your woman very carefully. Because when you love a woman, that is one person that you can easily be vulnerable to. Right?
Yeah.
My wife is someone that I have, even before we got married, I've cried in her arms and she held me like a baby. See, bro, if you don't get anything right in life, get your woman right. Let me not talk further.
We'll talk.
No, I think I agree with him, or both of them. But the thing is, it's about context. Yeah. There are times men will do amazing stuff and we use it to compliment or congratulate. Now, you did an amazing job. Because they know that it's no small feat that this person has accomplished. But then again, there are times where you say it because of the environment in which you're in. Because most people in that environment may see a weak part of you, and your friends or the men around you don't want the world to see that. Yeah. So they'll just say, guy, brace up. Man, you be. You can go and be weak and cry in your closet, but not to certain people. I don't think I've ever seen my father cry. It doesn't mean he doesn't cry.
Yeah.
There are people who don't deserve your tears, actually. There are people that don't deserve to see your tears.
And then, no shade to women, but most women do not know how to handle a man's weakness or his vulnerability. They don't know how to handle it because at the end of the day, they weaponize it. They say, this guy, they form big boy here, but the other day he was crying and whining about this kind of stuff. So that's part of the reason that even when society is now saying men should talk, express yourself, men are not doing that because one, emotionally, psychologically, physically, we're not built like that. It doesn't mean we don't have emotions, but our expression of that emotions is not to them. We can do it as guys.
Yes, that's what I was I wanted to say.
That was one thing that I forgot to add, actually.
We have men who right now who are not emotionally intelligent and they do not know how to handle other men's weakness and vulnerability.
Yeah.
So it's also something we need to be careful about. As he said earlier, it's not everybody that should be your friend.
Yeah.
It's not everybody that should know when you're going through stuff. Because some of the men are even worse than the women when it comes to things like that.
I agree.
So we have guys that are not paying attention. That's why they just feel, I can't tell anybody anything or any man anything. And I think men need to pay more attention to the environment in which they are and the people in which they are speaking with. So,
see, you know, I feel like a lot of men have circles.
Yeah.
We have circles, we have friends, we have guys. Okay, so every man has that friend or that circle that, oh, if you want to hang out, you know, you hang out with these people, or if you want to do business, there are certain people you do business with that you don't discuss you don't have certain conversations with, right? And then there's certain people where you know that, okay, when she really goes down, these are the people that you really call on. Okay, so I know every one of us here have those circles of people. I have that kind of circle where there's certain conversations that when it gets to a certain point, right, I just pick my phone and I'm like, guy, almost see you. And we talk and you're like, don't worry, it's going to be fine. You know, the person has a way of encouraging you. You tell the person that, oh, this happened, that happened, that happened. It could be anybody, it could be a friend, you know, and all of that. So I feel like a lot of men actually have those circles. They have a lot of activities that they do that takes their mind off a lot of things. Like for me, I play football, I play tennis. So it's a way, however frustrated I get or however, you know, life hits me and stuff. I know that if I just go to that place, I work out, I exercise for a few hours, your mind just takes away the burden off you. You know, and then you pray about it and you do all of these things. And then you just have these conversations. And you know how men's relationship is very, very interesting and because you hardly see men, you know, talk about certain things and laugh about certain things, you know. But the things that you think are important are off limits. Those are the places that your guys will go to. Yeah. No matter how sick you are, your guys will be able to make fun of you out of it. Yeah. And it's just so thrilling for you because at the end of the day you feel very, very light and you just feel the whole
I think
burden
that's
go away.
The differences between men and women.
It's kind of like barbershop therapy.
Yeah, true.
Sarcasms and insults
exactly
each other, but when you do that with a lady, she may not enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
She will not appreciate that. Let's say, for instance, to them it feels like I'm already down and you're kicking me again.
Yes,
doesn't make sense.
I had a crazy experience like that.
I remember.
Remember
when I was getting married and everything that happened. All my guys, including you, they're making fun of me.
Yeah.
But they stood by me.
Yeah.
Oh, I laughed.
All my guys.
It's crazy, man.
Do you understand? But they stood by me. But if it was a woman, a lot of them will not be able to handle that.
I feel like for women, that's the time for drugs. That's the time they use it to get content, to make mockery of their friends. And it's very, very unfortunate that women have that kind of relationships between them. Because I used to tell, whenever I have the opportunity to, if I have female friends, people or women that are generally close to me, I tell them that women have the fakest relationships ever. Unlike guys. Guys' relationships are more real because, okay, now, quick check. All of you guys have friends that you have people that you've been friends with since primary school.
Yes.
Yeah. And you are still talking to them today. And I'm sure that this week, you most likely spoken to one or two of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all do that. But ask the average girl in the last 3-4 months, how many of your friends have you spoken to that you've known for over this X amount of time? And they'll tell you that they don't. Maybe just someone they met in uni maybe 2-3 years ago and they're falling off and all of that. But I think a lot of men have been able to create these circles and these systems that keep them in check and they are held accountable, you know, to this kind of circle and all of that. And I think it's such a great thing that men have done over the years. But I think more efforts and more work should actually
there's a lot of work to be done.
Into that
there's a lot of work to be done. I often say that sometimes as a man, you don't even necessarily need to share the problems that you have with your boys. But when you're in the company of your boys, the general conversations that you have takes your mind off the stuff that
it helps you heal.
Yes, and it helps you heal without necessarily talking about it. But back to what I was saying about the crazy experience that I had. You know, for guys, you can just jab at each other even at the lowest that we are, and we're fine. Like, even helps you get back on your feet. So there was a time there was this girl I liked. Right, I really liked this girl. And being a photographer, one of the things we give to women that we love is a photo shoot, right? So I shot her and the pictures came out fine. Now, I didn't know that she was dealing with insecurities with her weight. I loved her the way that she was. I was feeling her.
I'm sure she didn't believe you.
And then I edited the pictures, put them on my Instagram, and then captioned the chubby Rihanna.
Oh shit!
Why did you do that, bro? Bro,
why did you do that?
That was a very wrong.
Nah.
It was a guy who just laugh it off.
We just call him Biggie and this.
You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, I had to spend the next few weeks like making penance. You get? And so, like, when you mentioned that, I was like, yo, like, this is like a perfect example of the limits not to cross with a woman. Like,
what did she make you do?
Sarcasm and just a jab and something to laugh over, man, they take it to heart. So,
how did you pay for it?
Bro, in multiple ways that I don't want to share. Y'all are gonna look at me like a sim, so I don't want that.
I think because of how alarming these numbers are on male suicide, it's important that men start talking to men.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Because we feel that having conversations are bad. But these numbers for suicide didn't used to be the case.
The way it was
in some 50, 60 years ago. I don't think suicide was like as it is right
today
now, because the pressure is different.
Yeah, the pressure is getting worse.
Or maybe we're just assuming because it was poorly documented at the time.
True.
That's another thing. That's another thing.
Because I don't think there's ever been a time where masculinity was different. Or being a
but
man
I think
was actually
that
different
society is in short supply of strong men.
Strong men. Yeah. Men are more feminine.
So can we actually define what a strong man really is? Really is.
For you to be able to lead, provide, and protect, you have to be strong. You cannot do these three things being a weak man.
And all of them the balance has to be on point, has to be on check. Okay, not that you are providing financially and you're not providing in good
emotionally.
So because a lot of men just assume that, if I have money, I'm good.
No, I think part of the problem is because society has already made it about the money.
Yes.
You see it on social media. If you don't get money,
bounce, clear.
So it's more or less like, okay, I bring the stacks, but you don't care about if I'm a psycho, if I'm a woman beater, you don't care about all of that. You feel that money answered all things, and that's about it.
You even hear you hear a lot of content creators and so-called bitter feminists on the internet saying things like, I'd rather cry in a Lamborghini, and they make jokes about stuff. They make jokes about these things.
Okay, you see, that's why earlier I said, if you get anything, if you fail at anything, right? If get your woman right. Because the moment that a man is looked at as just a source of provision, as a paycheck, as an ATM, bro, you don't know what destruction you're doing to that man. And at the same time, you're building a monster. Because if that's all you are saying that a man should be, then that means every other thing is permissible. As long as he brings money, he can cheat
everything
on
is
you.
Correct.
He can go out with other ladies.
Exactly.
He can be emotionally unavailable.
Do
you understand? When it comes to intimacy in the bedroom, he doesn't have to care about how intimacy goes now. If he can satisfy himself, then it is fine. That is what you're saying, and you're raising a monster right there.
True.
Right?
True.
And a lot of women, or really even society generally, don't understand that that's what they are saying to men when they say that your sum as a man is what you are able to provide.
Exactly.
Right? And so it is very dangerous. So like I said, if a woman, to my bros now, and to those my bros that are listening to me, if you're talking to a girl, right, and everything that she is all about is what she can get from you,
bounce.
bro, ran away.
Why are you running?
I'm sure all Adam ran away. Because, bro, you're gonna be running around in circles trying to impress this woman, and she will
so still on the conversation of providing, right? How much of a man's self-worth is tied to his ability to provide? Now, when I say provide, I mean provide stacks.
Okay, so before we go further, right, I would like to also say that so that we're not quick move far away from the definition of who a strong man is. I also think that as a strong man, your moral compass needs to be
on point.
You understand? Because one of the problems that we're having in society today is because a lot of men have their moral compass all jacked up. And that is why I tell you that society is raising weak men, right? Everything just goes. A man can become a woman can become a man.
It's actually intentional.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Create weak men.
And so this whole woke ideology that everything goes, just let people be who they want to be or what they want to be. It's all messed up, right? And as a man, if you cannot face society the way that it is today and tell the truth to society, then I think that you're a weak man, really.
True.
And those are the kind of men that are breeding the kind of weak society, the kind of moral breakdown, just chaos that is happening in society.
Because but we have a lot of men that are not they are not available, they are not there for their families. So there is lack of law and order.
True.
I've seen, like where I stay, I've seen where the mother is asking the son what we will eat, but there's a man in the house. There's the father.
And that's messed up.
That's messed up. No matter how wealthy my wife is or my kids would be, I should be able to take care of everybody.
There are certain responsibilities that just lie with the man.
Yes.
They can support, but not to take lead of those responsibilities.
Exactly. So I think when we have men that understand what responsibility really is, there are certain things that will not happen.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I was saying that, so you're talking about how with every generation that we see men get weaker and weaker. And if you look at it, it's intentional.
Yes.
It's intentional.
Look at what Hollywood is doing.
Exactly.
The moment they show a successful woman, then they bring in
a very weak man. A very weak man. Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. We're seeing it in cartoons and
if you notice cartoons, right? Me growing up, I didn't really watch a lot of cartoons, right? Because we now are from the Trinity studio. We not to watch cartoons, but growing up and then doing studies and seeing what the cartoons were and seeing the images of what the men in those cartoons looked like. They looked really, really big, really muscular, really, really bold.
Their faces,
as a matter of fact, is under attack.
Yes, it is. So you see that even the cartoons, check Spider-Man, Batman then, and Superman, and look at Batman and Superman. Okay, look at the movies. Look at what happened. Look at Zack Snyder's Superman and this new funny guy, Superman. Look how they downplay.
Even Odyssey. Look at Odyssey and then Christopher Nolan's Odyssey.
I've not seen the new one because I really, really love the.
They're trying to make everything woke these days. They're trying to
just woke, really.
Trying to make everything woke, and then they're trying to attack masculinity. Okay, so I saw a reel on Instagram, and she was talking about this Adam's apple in men. And they said that there's a reason why men have this Adam's apple. And it's one of the things that is responsible for the deep voice in guys, that's responsible for a lot of masculine tendencies, masculine traits in men. And if you notice, most teenagers these days, they don't have just from today, just start noticing it. You notice that a lot of teenagers, a lot of boys, they don't have it anymore. And it's in the food that they eat.
It's true.
Yeah. It's in the behavior. They have more female teachers than men. So even in school, most of the people that are in front of these boys, they are not masculine men that these boys would want to look up to and be like. So it's intentional. And you tend to say things like, if 100,000 women march in the streets, nothing will happen. But if 100,000 men pull up and march on the street. You know, say
everything
will shut down, like the entire system. So it's intentional because I feel like there are certain people who are trying to demasculine men more so that they become weak and they can't fight back. They become
want to destroy society. What you do is
attack the men.
You attack the men.
That's it.
That's all, and that's what's happening.
But I want. Okay, so now I feel like so. All of us are always online. We're on the internet every day, and we create content, to talk about certain things. We are social commentators in our own separate fields and all of that. And it's more like there's a gender war right now. So you have a lot of these foolish woke feminists on the left, and sometimes you have a sprint of misandrist men that will keep telling you things like, oh, don't spend money on women, don't do all of that, don't do this for the wrong reasons, right? So at what point do we now draw the line to say, okay, this is getting too much, this is getting out of hand?
And see, this is a very interesting topic. And here's why I say it's an interesting topic. Because personally, right, I believe that the red pill ideology and modern day feminism, they are two sides of the same ugly coin.
Do
you understand? Because the truth, let's tell ourselves the truth. Men and women need each other. We have always needed each other. We will always need each other.
We can't do without
each other. And I think that this whole gender war thing, I think that it is deliberately orchestrated. Call it the New World Order, call it whatever.
It is actually the New World Order.
There are people that are benefiting from these things happening, right? Pit the men against the women, pit the women against the men. And so there are people that are benefiting from these things. And that is why you notice that even on your platforms, the platforms tend to push, your social media platforms, they tend to push this kind of content.
True.
Yeah.
They tend to push this kind of content. Make content talking about something reasonable. It may not get as much views. Talk about these things, and you find that the content is just traveling far. Make content bashing men or make content bashing women and see how the views, right? And the problem we have right now is that there are many grifters in this space. True. You think that they subscribe to these ideologies and all of that, but they don't. It's just a source of income to them.
True.
It's just online money. Okay, look at figures like Gege, who said it's better to have baby mamas. It's like
he's doing crazy numbers.
Do you understand? He's doing crazy numbers.
That is attacking men.
But OG didn't start like that.
He didn't start like that.
OG's content was pro-men. Yes, pro-men at some point. And then one day he just switched. I think he wasn't doing numbers at the time.
He wasn't doing
numbers. Then he just decided to start making, content pandering to women. And then OG Milan is now...
And so it is a problem. It is a problem. And so, but I tell people this, that again, like I said before, men and women see amazing things happen. I've seen it one too many times.
True.
Yeah. Amazing things happen when a woman and a man come together and decide to work it out. Right? And people fantasize about the idea of power couples. But what do you think that is? It is a man and a woman. You understand? It's not a man seeing the woman as a problem or the woman seeing the man as a problem. Inherently a problem. No, human relationships can be difficult. It's the same thing even with your boys sometimes. You ruffle feathers, right? But the best bet that we have as the human race is to figure out how these things work, how human relationships work, make it work, and you will benefit so greatly from it, right? So, and that's why, referring back to my earlier statement, get your woman right, my boys.
No, not be us you go tell.
Now we did it tell.
No, I mean, there are people listening.
That's some of us.
I remember when I was single,
let's not forget that we were talking about men's worth attached to provide.
Yes.
I was one that took us back, so I said, let me remind us.
I think society right now is making it look like, as we said earlier, if you don't have money, you're not a man. And that is a problem because there are a lot of weak men with a lot of money right now.
I feel like anybody can actually fall into or bump into money right now. Anybody. So it's going to be very, very unreasonable to attach
a man's worth
to money because I see these people. I know that this is a moron.
Yes.
Right? And for whatever reason it is, for whatever reason that it has become, the person has had some money.
People that
not to talk about the illegal things going on. I said not to talk about the people that make money through illegal means.
Yes.
I've met men that have stupid money that I can only imagine. But when you have conversations with them,
you are
say,
disappointed.
This is just a stupid person with money.
Like, it's just a load of uprising.
Yes, a load of uprising. For instance, we had a case of this guy that cheated a lot of just people. And this guy saw stupid money, built a 9-bedroom apartment, all ensuited with solar power that powers the whole house. And swimming pool.
But
he's a fool.
I feel you.
True.
With all that money, he's a fool.
If you have to cheat people to make money, no matter how much the figure is,
you're not a man. You're a weak man. That's why I don't take some politicians
about morals.
Yes.
That's what we talked about morals, and that's why I don't work with a lot of politicians, man. You don't find me defending a politician online or any of that stuff. Why? Because a lot of these guys, I don't like to use strong words, but bro, they deserve those strong words.
True.
Right? Because these are men who their moral compasses are jacked up. Right? Because if they had a choice between money and doing and something that will benefit the people, they will always pick money.
Yeah.
Right? And so you tell me
I
that's
think
the kind
that's
of
the crop of leaders we have. No, they are not leaders. That's a crop of politicians
that we have.
Because being a leader and being a politician are not the same thing.
It's not.
A leader is thinking about the next generation. The politician is thinking about the next election. That's why he doesn't care who he hurts and what he does.
And that's why you find them cohabiting with themselves. You know, they know that they all do not like each other. So it's easy for them to cohabit with them. So you find this person is in this clique today and they have a fallout. He's with the next. You cannot believe it.
They lack moral compass.
They don't have moral compass.
They don't have that.
Imagine the Omokris of this world.
Exactly. Like,
you know how I used to love that man.
Oh my God. I'm telling you. Like, I used to love him so
I go
much.
to read
They
his
talk from
posts.
two sides of their mouth.
Exactly.
But right
Like
now,
for him to come and be the
when I
exact
see
opposite.
a Reno
what he
Omokri
used to
post,
talk
I'm
about.
In fact, I think there are certain people who I had to like block on social media because I don't have any space for
Junk.
like Daniel Boala.
Oh God, that guy. That
but
one is
you
not
see, guys,
believable.
Let's not lie to ourselves. As a man, there's a certain level of fulfillment that you get from being able to provide.
True.
From being able to spend on your woman.
True.
Bros, I don't know about y'all, but I really love it.
We
Right?
all love.
Yes.
We all love.
There's
it.
no man.
There's no man that doesn't love to
When I
spend.
spend money on when I buy my woman a gift and I see the smile, I see her face get lit up with a smile. Like there's a lot of satisfaction. But what is even more satisfying is that I know that even if I didn't do that,
She would.
she would still love me.
Yes.
And that's why I keep saying that while provision is very important, you cannot summarize a man into provision alone.
Yeah.
That is a recipe for disaster. That's what I keep saying. And so, yes, to a large extent, let's not lie to ourselves. Yes, some of our worth as men, we tie it to provision, even without being told.
Yeah.
And that's why I say that a responsible man knows that he has financial responsibility to his
Now,
woman.
I know
You don't even
that-
have to tell him.
I know a lot of women want to pull the scripture that say a man that doesn't provide for his
Is
family
worse than
is
an
worse
infidel.
than an infidel. Now the thing is, for his family,
Not for you.
not for you.
In fact,
So for his girlfriend, it's his decision.
in fact, you see
I
the scripture.
decided to do it.
In fact, you see the scripture that you just quoted is actually wrong. That's not what the Bible said. The Bible didn't say a man. The Bible said anyone. If you really look, if you go back and read it, it said anyone, not a man. So that anyone is now signifying that either male or female. So if you have a family, you are a wife or you are a husband,
And
the both of you must
supposed to
provide for that family. And who's the
However,
family?
now I subscribe to that, but however, the Bible was written in a cultural context.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to respect that as well.
Yeah.
While I agree that it's anyone who doesn't provide. So women also have some form of responsibility. But the Bible, like I said, was written within a cultural context. And, it was written in a patriarchal society.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. Of course. So you have to know that and in that
the
particular society,
was to the man.
the burden rested mostly on
the
men.
man.
On the man.
Right?
But now we all grew up in Nigeria,
Yeah.
right? And we've seen our mothers come through for our families in significant ways that we cannot understand. In fact, sometimes there are times where I don't even know who is paying the fees in my house, who's taking up the responsibilities. And we all can relate to these things. Do you think that kind of society that we had, that kind of community that we had growing up, that kind of upbringing, do you think it is visible in today's world? Okay, so now you hear stories of people saying stuff like, I saw one recently where it was a family of 3, a husband, a wife, and a child. They had a daughter, and the daughter was sick. And at the time, the husband didn't have money, right? The wife had money, and she kept quiet about it. And it was, the bills were like 20-something thousand. And she did not take out of her own money to take her own child to the hospital. She kept the child at home, and the child almost died.
That's crazy.
And at the end of the day, the man he found out that the wife had so much money. Not just that she had the money, she had so much money. And I think he divorced her or something. Now, that's one story. There's another one where the wife had the house they were living in, the wife built it, unknowing to the husband. The husband didn't know that it was
his wife's house.
And he was paying rent. And guess what the funny thing? She was increasing the rent every year.
That's crazy.
Okay, I think I've seen that story.
She was increasing the rent every year. And I'm like, bro, where do these people... Okay, so whenever I see those kind of stories and those kind of situations, what comes to my mind is, where would they meet each other? Where do these kind of people meet these kind of people? Because I cannot imagine myself meeting that kind of person.
I think one of the problems, right, is that some of these men do not really look at the family that the woman is coming from. You understand? Yeah. Sometimes you have to go when you're dating a woman, you have to go to the house. You have to see what the relationship is like between the father and the mother. That will tell you a whole lot. You cannot have a girlfriend whose father and mother are not in good terms, and you expect to come and marry her, and then you will not have problems. The way she sees her father, because likely the chances are she's going to see her father as the problem is very high, because a lot of women, we all know that a lot of women tend to, how do I even put this? Maybe have like the children on their side.
Cozy up with the
understand? So sometimes, in fact, not even have them. Sometimes they can intentionally turn those kids against the father. Do you understand? No, I wouldn't like to talk about this.
Okay, so recently,
somebody shared something with me.
I came across a story on social media about a man who left $10 million. It happened in America.
Yeah.
He left $10 million to his son, but didn't leave anything for his daughters, because the daughter supported their mother when she cheated. And so when the man passed, before he passed, of course, he wrote his will and he willed everything
to his son.
Now, just as I answered
yesterday now,
I agree. Let the woman also give her daughter her own wealth now.
No, but they're struggling. So they've been coming to the brother to ask, and he said he doesn't want to dishonor his father's memory. But if you ask me, he should just help them. But
I will help them. I know. Okay, so I saw it on your page, right? Yeah. This is what I would do. I would help them. I would give them enough to be okay. $10 million is a lot of money.
$1 billion.
Yeah, but
we're ignoring the fact that man
$10 million. Sorry.
Proper cuts. Yes, they're probably expecting that they're going to get a proper cut.
No. For a proper cut,
he takes $5 million. He gives
how? For a proper cut. For a proper cut, I wouldn't give them a proper cut, because of course he was in the entire picture of everything. He saw what happened. Do you understand? He saw what the father had to go through. Do you understand? And we did here, now when the chike sleeping with Frank's wife, right? And we saw the outburst, and we saw how women reacted to that thing. You had women in the comment section.
Immoral women, if I may.
Yes, immoral. Thank you for that.
Some of them were married, though.
Yes,
if you go and check their profiles, they're married women.
Bro, I absolutely crashed out. I saw married women that I knew in these jaws celebrating that stuff. I'm like, yo, where did you all get your wives from?
That's crazy.
Bro. I'm like, bros, now I know it's not married.
So at the end of the day, I think when it comes to love and relationships, men love better.
Men are the genuine lovers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I have a verdict on that.
I believe that is what I believe. Men truly love.
Actually,
love for men is not attached to
anything. Okay, so this
don't need to do it. This is the reason why God loves. That's how God loves humanity. That's how we love.
This is how I see it, right?
You don't have to do anything. You deserve it. I love you.
Okay, so for men and women...
But there are women who love like that, too.
Yes, they are. But it's not
the select few.
So, okay, so the thing I was...
The fraction.
The thing I was trying to say is this, right? If you look at it, men, when men make decisions on partners, on who they decide to... They don't make these decisions based off on the same features that women make their own decision. For example, now, a woman wants to date or marry a guy that is taller, stronger, richer, all of those things. If you see a woman's wish list for a man,
it's what you can see.
Yes, it's all
and what you can get.
Yes, most of the time.
But my bros, can I also tell you that we also have our own superficiality as men?
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
and I'm coming to that.
That's why lots of men go into trouble.
We do, and I'm coming to that. So, like, what I was trying to say is, when you look at those lists and those things that women want, the wish list that they have, you notice that everything that the woman has listed are 80 or 95% of the time something that is bigger and higher than her.
Yeah.
For a man is not looking for a woman on that level. So I think it gives a man the advantage of we saying that men love wholeheartedly. Not necessarily because
a lot of women marry up. Men
not that a lot of women. Most all women marry
have
up.
been accused of marrying them because they want to control.
Yes.
So what do you have to say about that?
In that case, then every man should marry a woman in his class. Let's see how many women will
get married. Maybe women should marry down so that they can control, right?
the truth, okay, so I think if we decide to go by this standard saying, women should marry down so that they too can control, you are going to have a balanced society in a way that we've created right now, because balance in the sense that
but women
right
won't
now,
want that anyway.
no, they won't want. The truth is, real women won't want that. But the thing is, with the way men are demasculine, a lot of men would opt in for that kind of setup.
Yeah,
I don't think any guy in this room would marry. Jonas, I don't think any guy in this room would want
deliberately want that because. Yeah, and it's crazy you said that.
Marry another man.
Exactly.
No, but then some women say it's because men are threatened by women's success.
No, that's not the point.
True. It's not true.
The thing is, a lot of women, as we said earlier, don't know how to handle success.
Yeah.
So the moment a man gets money, he's thinking of supporting his family. But the moment a woman gets money, she feels she is all that.
She's okay. She doesn't need that man anymore.
So a lot of them are just in relationships and marriages because of what they are getting.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question. How many men have you seen in divorce courts asking for money?
I mean, it's not a staggering number, but some have. I think there's this Hollywood actress, I've forgotten her name, that, she was a child actress. I don't remember her name, but, they dated and married, and then he was asking even for the money from her trust fund from when she was
I think I saw something
actress.
Like
so the truth is like the guy hits an Uno reverse, right? It was funny to see, but I felt bad because I as a man wouldn't do that. But there are men that actually do that.
For instance, I'll give you an example. Recently, we saw Pella and Jarvis get married. And then I watched a clip from one of Jarvis's live stream where her friend was telling her, you should get married in court. Because when you get married in court and there's a divorce, they'll give you half of it. And immediately she said, that's what it is. I will get married in court. But now Nigerian law doesn't allow for that. Yeah. If your name is not on the property, it's not yours. If it is Mrs. Let's say Mrs. Tadi that's on it, anybody can be Mrs. Tadi. If it doesn't carry your name, it is not yours. What you come with is what you will live with. That is Nigerian law.
But it is crazy to me that people are going into marriage and planning for divorces already.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Okay, so I know we are talking about mental health, right?
Yeah.
And we've spoken about it to a bit. And you just brought up a very, very, very strong position. And I'd like to pop up this question. What do you guys think about the concept of prenuptial agreements before marriage? Because now we are talking about...
I'll let this gentleman... I have a lot on my mind, but so let me...
It doesn't work in Nigeria because of what the law says about divorce. If your name is not on the deed, it is not yours. So there's no point signing prenup in Nigeria. Maybe in the US or in Europe, that will work. But in Nigeria and a lot of countries in Africa, doesn't make sense.
But there are Nigerians that are living abroad.
Yes.
And these cases come up, or even you get married in Nigeria, but then you travel out. And then you're domiciled there for a while. So those laws can apply to you. So it's very possible for you to...
Then play a Hakimi.
The question is this. Don't you think that to an extent a woman deserves, if you've lived with a woman for a certain number of years, don't you think that woman deserves some sort of, from all that you've built,
I'm going to respond to you. Wait, sorry.
Let me know.
We both deserve something then.
So here's what I'm saying, right? That whatever it is you may have accumulated over the years, do you think that even if she was not primarily in the business or the hustle, don't you think that the years of emotional support, the years of,
I get your point.
I believe I'm with him. I'm with him.
Raising the kids. Don't you think that
this is what this
if it was about the love and you're out of love, then everybody should leave with what they came with.
But
do you understand what he's saying?
I'm saying, what of the years of sacrifice?
Okay, she deserves something.
Yes, don't you think
that means at the end of the day, it was about the money.
So if I get
that means I'm paying you off. Then we shouldn't have gotten married from the scratch.
Let's say there's no prenuptial agreement, right? Would you willingly give a woman, some of your assets?
No, that woman is the mother of your kids.
Now, this is what
the mother of your kids.
In the words,
you wouldn't want her to suffer.
In the words of the famous Donald John Trump, he said, just because you marry somebody who built wealth, and you divorce the person doesn't mean you get to live like the Queen of Sheba. Now, if I marry, let's say, hypothetically speaking, right? I get married to someone and we happen to have a divorce, and whether we have, because of course, if I marry you and you want to divorce me to take my money, one kobo you will never see.
So the intention.
Hold on. Yes, number one, intention.
But how are you able to know that?
Number one, I will know. Somebody that is invested in your money.
I'm done with this marriage and I'm leaving. She doesn't care about anything.
Exactly.
Those are the kind of women that deserve something. Because they reach their limits and they cannot take it anymore.
Yes.
And I know that once she leaves, life is going to be hard for her. So it doesn't matter.
So like I said, right, I don't think like I said, like Donald Trump said, I don't think a woman that has divorced her husband, it's enough grounds for her to live like the Queen of Sheba. Now pay attention to what I'm saying. Living like the Queen of Sheba, not being comfortable. Those are two different words. Yeah. Those are two different things. A lot of women want to take half your wealth and go and splurge and buy Birkins and live an exorbitant lifestyle. It doesn't let's use a perfect example. What's his name? 50 Cent's baby mama at the time that he was giving her, what was the figure? I think he was giving her like 60K a month or something. Yeah. And she wanted more. And she took him to court. And when she took him to court, she found out that based on the law, she's not even supposed to collect less. She deserves way less. And you're like, oh, really? So if you deserve way less, the court said I was giving you 60K, but the court said I should cut it down to like 6K a month. And he was giving her 6K a month. So we shouldn't forget herself in the leg. Yeah, we shouldn't forget that a lot of people.
And that was supposed to be child support.
Yeah. Exactly.
Are you a child?
Was it child? Maybe $60,000.
No, okay, but this is my position about prenuptial agreements. Now, I'll speak from my personal experience. The kind of woman that I married, except if she changes, I don't think I will ever need a prenuptial agreement, right? Because I have a lot of faith and confidence in what God gave me, in who God gave me, right? And I will always say, if I have the opportunity to say it, that in the process of searching for a wife, right, involve God. There was a time in my life that I didn't think it was important. I used to laugh at people, even pastors, when they talked about putting God, like trusting God in the process of choosing a wife, right? But I saw it face to face when it came around the time that I wanted to settle down, right? When it came to the time that I wanted to marry, I saw it face to face. I just knew that this couldn't be me, right? And I trusted God, and I have a woman that, had the opportunity to be with men that probably could give her more financially, right? But she chose me. Right?
In today's world, they will say she's settled.
Yes,
in today's world, a lot of people will say she's settled. You understand? They would call my wife and pick me. I was telling someone the other day that one of the reasons why I don't put my wife out there, especially with the kind of content that I make, is because I've seen what daughters of Jezebel have done to Solomon with his wife. Right?
True.
You understand? This is a man that he's the one that is saying all of these things that you don't like. But how come you're attacking his wife? You have said nasty things about the woman.
And these are people that claim to love women.
Women,
yes, who are,
but they're attacking them.
You understand?
I said earlier, they don't like themselves.
You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to prenuptial agreements, I think that there's a certain level of faith and confidence in I'm speaking from my perspective, in who God has given you as your wife, that you're not even thinking of a prenuptial agreement. But I think that also there are certain level people that need to protect themselves. Celebrities, people, NBA stars, this kind of people that, they have reached a certain level in their life. They have gotten a certain level of visibility that they know that there's a high chance that people coming around you, there are people that they're the people that the Wives and Girlfriends Association, that they want to be WAGs. They call themselves Wives and Girlfriends Association, like, so WAG, they call it WAGs. These are girlfriends and wives of NBA stars, American football stars, just American sports guys, right? Look at what is happening with, and some of these guys are not even really wise, right? They meet a girl, they abandon their high school sweetheart who has been with them even before the fame. Maybe they have fantasized about all of these online girls, only OnlyFans girls, you understand? And they get together with these girls, and when the girls pop out the kid, you understand? They're like, okay, they deserve half. Or they marry for a few years and like, okay, I deserve half. I've been married to this guy. So I feel like these guys actually need to protect themselves. But I also think that these boys they're not really wise, and a lot of them just end up fumbling.
As I said earlier, the location where matters. The laws allow for some of these things matters. A lot of us are in Nigeria. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't really apply.
So why should I worry myself?
However, I think that the law should protect women a bit more. Because hear me out. I'm playing the devil's advocate here, right?
I actually agree with you.
I feel like our law should, even though I'm not saying it should be as harsh as it is in places like America, right? But I think that I've seen situations where women maybe get divorced and they have given their lives to this man and they walk away without a pin.
True.
Because these men are deliberately wicked and the law doesn't protect women as much.
In that case, I agree with you.
And then you would see such situations and you're like, and even there are situations where a man dies and his brothers just
come and
take everything and they leave the woman with nothing. So I think that our laws should protect men. Because there are women who are giving their lives to men with genuine intention.
And all these men mess them up.
So I think that our laws should protect women more. That's just what I think.
I think that is part of the conversation a lot of women should be having rather than attack men.
True.
Necessarily. And then we need to see more women in the polity, but they are not going there. If a woman contests, they will not support. Instead, they are blaming us for things they have not done.
Armchair critics.
Okay, so initially we are talking about tying provision to masculinity in society, and we're talking about a whole lot of stuff. And something happened recently, right? One of my boys was showing me a DM, and he was having a conversation with this girl. He asked her out, okay, so let's go to this place. They went out the first time, and she was like, are you going to pay my transport, my Bolt's fare? And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? The first time they went out, she came, used Bolt to come, used Bolt to go back. And then the following time, they were supposed to go out again. The same people was like, okay, so what time do we meet up? So time. Okay, so are you going to pay my Bolt fare? And you're like, do you use Bolt to go to everywhere that you are going to? Because
question.
Yeah, because I do not think there's anybody, even people who can afford it. I don't think there's anybody who uses Bolt to go out every day. For example, I can afford it, but I don't use Bolt to go. Where am I rushing to? Except there's a need. Okay, let's say I'm leaving the house and it's raining and I need to get somewhere. I can order a ride, right? Or it's running really late in the night. I can order a ride to come back home and stuff. But I don't think there's anybody
coming back with a whole lot of stuff, maybe from a journey.
Yes, exactly. I don't think that there are people who, wherever they are going to, is boats they are using. I don't think
it's not even financially smart.
I don't think it makes any sense.
Why do you do that?
So when you showed it to me, I was like, this is rubbish. This doesn't make any sense. Are you telling me that if she's going to class, if she's going to school, she'll use boats to go to class? She'll not enter keke.
She's going to the market.
Or if she's going to the market.
The person who can afford boats all the time will not ask another person to pay for their boats.
Facts.
We get the point now.
That's just it, really. But the guy is at that point is just a means to an end, right? And that's why I say it's very easy to know. See, a woman that constantly asks money from you, she doesn't love you.
True.
I see women are givers. Let me bust your brain. See, when a woman loves you, she will give you and give you. See, I've dated women that love me. I think that's one of the blessings I've had in my life. women have loved me for a very long time, right?
Lovable.
And I've enjoyed, I've even said before that most of the women that I've dated are good women. It just didn't work out. It just wasn't meant to be, right? See, when a woman loves you, she will give you. And that's one way to know if a woman loves you. If she wants to give you. She just doesn't want to take from you. If a woman just wants to take and take,
I think
you're going to spend the rest of your life giving and it will never be enough.
There's something I always used to say. I would say that, you see that money that they use prove love to woman.
Exactly.
Me, I don't get that. That was
I saw a video. I think I'll post it on my status where a lady was saying, when a man is mature and he knows you're going through stuff, he will not say, "Oh, I hope you figure it out." He will figure it out and take care of stuff. That's the person that was like analyzing the video. He said, "It's true what she said. Thank God he's not mature." Yes,
oh God, this is crazy, man. This is crazy, man.
But I want to say this.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to every woman, but if you believe you love the man in your life, then you should pay attention to that man, what he's going through. Because the truth is, women say they are very sensitive. They are sensitive to when a man is cheating, but they are not sensitive to when the man is going through stuff. Does it make sense? So I think women need to pay more attention to their men. And when they do that, even men that claim they are polygamist, they'll be shocked how they become monogamist because of the kind of love and attention their women have given them.
Selective
See, I've literally had a girl online say that if you have a problem, please don't talk to me. You're a man, handle it. And it boils down to the conversation that we're having, right? That I don't want to hear any problems, please. How is it that we're talking, we're dating, and you have problems and you're putting your burden on me? And it's not like she was not even saying that, talking about asking her for money, that you shouldn't bug her.
But you know that a lot of these ladies, what they say and do online is different from what they are really experiencing. They kind of, and as I said earlier, women don't like women. So some delusional women will come and say crazy stuff that they are not doing offline. And then ladies will be idolizing those women. I'll give you an instance. There's this lady, very popular on just social media in Jos, and she hates men, supposedly. And she demonizes broke men and all of that. But she has come to a lot of our DMs to beg for 2K, 5K. And when she makes those posts, you see a lot of younger girls in her comment section. Go girl. You're saying, but she's not DMs begging for money.
That's crazy.
In short, there was a time that she got arrested for stealing a phone in Abuja.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Mad.
And it's why I keep saying that everyone should really, not just women, everyone should be careful the kind of people
who listen
to. Because a whole bunch of your misandrists, your feminists, your red pill guys, they are just grifters, really.
Now, this is what I decided to do. I started I think shortly after I got married. If your content does not educate me or uplift me, and somehow I know that maybe there's a relationship, we have business or something, and I can't unfriend you or block you on social media, unfollow you, so I don't see anything. So there are very few people now I see their content. If I see you write certain things that are insensitive, delete, block, unfollow. Because I am trying to be very deliberate about
what you consume.
There was something that Kanye said a few years ago, and when he said it at the time, it didn't really make a lot of sense to people. But coming back right now, it makes so much sense. He said, you know how Kanye can be now. He said, Instagram has your bitch. Like a lot of you niggas, Instagram has your bitch. What he was trying to say was that, so if you understand how the algorithm works, there are certain contents that is being pushed to certain kind of people.
Yeah.
So they push a certain kind of content to certain kind of women between this age,
certain demographic,
to a certain demographic within this age range, and a lot of those what do they call those people that hate women? Misandrist men.
Okay, misogynistic
men. They push their content to certain kind of women that are between certain ages, and they make them see a lot of men
as demons.
Yes, in a certain way. And whenever I have these conversations with women and they keep talking about, when they talk ill about marriages, talk ill about men, about husbands, about fathers, and all of that, I ask them questions like, oh, okay, so you have a father? They say, yes, I have a father. Oh, loving man, great man. I'm like, oh, interesting. I'm like, okay, so you have a mother, right? Yeah, my mom is cool. My mom is an amazing woman, amazing person. I'm like, oh, amazing. So I'm like, okay. And now these people talk about marriages in certain. I'm like, how long have your parents been married? And like, oh, my parents have been married for X amount of years. Oh, maybe 30-something years. I'm like, okay, so where are you now? Why is it that the reference point you're using for marriages is not your parents?
Yes,
what makes you feel like it is social media?
That's the standard.
Who made Instagram the standard of quality? Quality of life, quality of relationships, quality of marriages, quality of upbringing of children, and all of those
sometime last year, one Igbo lady, I think she moved into Jos some years ago, and she said she's dated a few Jos guys. It didn't just work out. But in her experience and all her years of being in a relationship, Plateau men are the best men she has ever dated. Then there's a Plateau girl I know who went to the comment section and insulted Plateau men, said a lot of crazy stuff. And then I replied to her, I said, we agree with you, because I know she's Plateau. Does that include your father, brothers, and uncles? She got offended. So Plateau men are bad, except
my
Your
father.
own father. Brothers.
Okay, so something happened a few years ago, right? I think something was being spoken about. I think it was, as a matter of fact, the present governor, Barrister Caleb Mutfwang, when he was campaigning for the position of the governor, it was, people found out, of course, they are going to find out stuff about you. So some women found out that his wife is not from Plateau State. And some of our sisters, shout out to them, no beef with y'all. I love y'all. But they came out and said, what is it with Plateau men that whenever they become successful, they don't marry from Plateau State? And I was like, yo, do you know how many years Mutfwang has been married
together?
You talk about it like...
Have you seen his pictures when he was broke?
That's what I'm saying.
She was in the picture.
These men didn't get married when they had money. Some of them met their women, NYC or stuff, when they literally had nothing and they were just trying to build. And these women loved them and married them. Recently, Ibrahim Pam got appointed as the head of I think accountability unit of the World Bank or something.
Yes.
You understand? And I just said it, that this woman, they met in the university. She was 17, he was 21. She was 17 going on 18, right? And he was 21. What did he have? He had nothing. But now he works at the World Bank, an important office. And then you come from nowhere and say, Plateau men don't marry Plateau men when they are successful. No, you didn't see him as anything when he wasn't successful. An Igbo girl found him good. I mean, my Igbo woman found me good. Then. Exactly. So tomorrow night when I become a big boy, y'all are going to tell me that I didn't choose y'all.
Does that hating on you?
Listen, you understand? So, and that is why I often tell young girls, some young girls trust me, right? Trust me to talk to me online because of the kind of content that I make. And I often tell them that. I tell them, you see, it's okay to look out for a man's finances. There's nothing wrong with it. But that's not the only thing you should be looking at. Do you understand? Because where he's at doesn't tell the full story of his life.
True.
Some of our mothers got married and our fathers brought them into their grandfather's house. It was in the family house. At least some of us, when now that are getting married, we are renting homes. Our mothers got married and it was family house they brought them to. But they were patient. They trusted our fathers. And before my dad passed, he had done reasonably well for himself.
Yeah.
They came together and did something for themselves as a family. At least he has a house in our hometown. He has a house in Jos. At least he has something that he willed to his children. And we were not suffering before my dad passed, right? And so I tell young women, right, it's okay to build with a man. Just look at the patterns. Look at what he's building. Is he doing anything towards it? Does he love the Lord? Does he fear God? Is he building something?
True.
Right? This will tell you a lot more about the person than where he is currently. Right? And
then in the building, how is he building? Because there are a lot of people that have been successful, but not in the right way.
Exactly.
True.
That's what I was talking about patterns, right? What is he doing to build? What he's doing, as a matter of fact, matters a lot. Recently, I saw a girl that she said she was helping her man build. What was she helping her man build? She bought a laptop for him to help him in his Yahoo work. That's not a man building. That is not a man building, right? And so notice the patterns. They said the average billionaire or millionaire, as a matter of fact, comes to financial stability, as a matter of fact, at the age of 50, the average man.
Yeah.
Right?
In fact, the average millionaire is from 40 and above.
Okay.
Then the average billionaire is from 55, 60.
Okay.
But can we be
so, but you're looking
honest?
at your 25-year-old boyfriend, your 27-year-old boyfriend, and expecting him to be all settled, to have a house, to have a ride, and be making 6 figures.
It's because a lot of them
social media.
They don't understand
That's
the pace of
it.
time.
That's why Kanye West says Instagram has a bitch.
It's because
They
of
don't
social media.
understand
And honestly, if we're
the
being
place of time.
honest, if we're being very honest, some of these women don't care. As long as the money is coming, as long
Yeah,
as
there are more compasses
he
that
has
jacked up
money,
anyways.
they do not care. Even the ones that look like they care a bit, they actually do not care deep down. They just want you to have money.
It's just what you
To have
decide.
money.
But like I said, it's okay to build with a man. I there was something I said. I said, if you are afraid to build with a man, it means you're also building nothing for yourself.
True.
That's just it. And I always tell men to stay away from women that are not building anything.
True.
Because if they are not building anything, they are looking to you to build. Now, while that may not be a problem if they genuinely love you,
It's a problem.
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. There are women that are satisfied with building just a family, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't want. We don't want to demonize traditional moms, traditional housewives, right?
Me, that's what I
wives
want,
are a
sha.
good thing. Like, bro, if my wife says today that she doesn't want to build anything, my wife is a smart woman that is building stuff for herself, right? And I celebrate her wins. But if today she says she wants to be a trad wife, I will support my wife. I'll walk my behind off to make sure that she has everything that she wants.
True.
Because it's amazing what trad wives do. And I see, I think that's one of the things that I don't like about feminism, that it demonizes trad wives. Right? These are women that have chosen that they want to build their family, they want to put all their effort and build their families. But feminism demonizes them. And that's why I said it may not necessarily be a problem. Not every woman has to be a businesswoman out there.
Some years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, we had a meeting. All my grandmother's children came together with their kids and all of that. And we were over 50 of us in the room. And we took a picture. And I just sat down. I said, everybody in this room is here because of this woman. It's not any small win. She chose to give birth to these children. She chose to build this and develop these children with her husband. I don't think there's any win more than that, because at the end of the day, the older we become, we realize that there are certain things that we're worried about in our younger years that were really nothing.
They're not
Yeah.
it. See, there's something I said, right? I said one time, I think I was speaking to a friend or something. I think it was in my master's class when I was doing my master's in the University of Jos. One of the ladies in our class, she's married, she's a woman that I love and respect, right? She has a beautiful family and she gives her energy to it. But she was trying to say, make it look like being just a mother and a wife was not something to aspire to. And then I told her, and there was what I responded. I said, if a woman wants to build and be a businesswoman and aspire to all of that and be the Okonjo Iwealas of this world, I greatly support, that.
Yeah.
It's amazing, right, to see women succeed like that.
True, it's beautiful.
But at the same time, if a woman decides that she's gonna relinquish all of that and build just a family, that's
a big win too.
It's a big win. It's amazing.
Very big.
Because our fathers, some of our mothers, they are a product. As a matter of fact, some of the women who go on to be such big businesswomen and amazing figures like the Okonjo Iwealas of this world were built and raised
by
such traditional moms.
Yes.
Right? So all of these people have their place in society, and I don't think there's any need for competition and diminishing the importance of one over the other. Choose what
works for you. If that works for you, fine.
And pursue it vigorously. There's no need to demonize anybody else's choices. Yeah.
Well, so in closing on all that, I just want to say that I feel going back to the major crux of this conversation, men out there, please try as much as possible to create systems that would support your health mentally, physically, and in all spheres. Emotionally, you should have people that you know that, oh, this person has my back any day, anytime. Because the world is really, really tough out there. There's a lot of responsibilities that lie with the man. You know, like I always say, is nothing happened when Eve ate of the fruit of good and evil. Nothing happened. But when the man ate, that was when hell broke. So
that's why I keep saying that we need strong men.
True. We really do need strong men. So
we need them alive.
There are certain things that, the certain mistakes that the mother will make in the house, and the consequences will not be as grave as when the father makes certain mistakes and certain things go wrong. So you need to be strong physically to protect your family. Like physically, you need to be strong to protect your family.
Go to hit the gym, bro.
Yes, you need to hit the gym. You need to work out.
You can find the rings to practice. I mean,
you need to be financially stable. You know, you need to have leadership qualities that will put your kids and your family in the right direction. So this is from me closing. I just think men need to work harder on themselves and have a high expectation of yourself than any other. People shouldn't have a high expectation of you that you have
of yourself.
Then I want to say that a lot of men should have mentors and men they look up to, because we cannot put that part of our growth and development as men in the back burners. We have amazing fathers, yes, but there are other men that are doing better than our fathers would. So those are the men that we should also aspire to be like, and have a circle that holds you accountable. That's very important. We are having less and less of that right now. I have friends that if I want to misbehave as a married man, they'll say, bro, not here, not with us. And they put me in check. They remind me that I am married. And those are the kind of people we should have around us. Role models and people that hold us accountable.
Yeah. So for me, I would like to say, man, therapy doesn't make you weak.
True.
Therapy, and there's something that we're offering at Counterculture Collective for people to reach out to us. I'm putting my psychology degree to use. I have a BSc, I have an MSc. If any man wants to talk, some ladies have reached out to me and I talk to them online, right? Give them good, good counsel, right? I try my best to do that. But men often run away from therapy, and it's okay. It doesn't make you weak. As a matter of fact, being vulnerable is a form of strength, and that's what I was talking about at the beginning, right? A lot of men, we need to get these suicide numbers down, right? If you are going through stuff, talk to someone. It can be barbershop therapy. It can be official therapy with a psychologist, right? However you can get help, whatever works for you, whatever you're comfortable with. It doesn't have to be a professional psychologist or psychotherapist, any of such, but it's okay to go to therapy. You know, and I know that it's not an African thing, and a lot of men just wave it off with, "Naman, you be." No, but if you're struggling with the loss of a loved one, if you're struggling with your finances, I'm not talking to me, you go to bill people anyhow. You're struggling with your finances and you need help, you need mentoring, just like Storm has said. Talk to someone. Some of these men are more approachable, that are doing well are more approachable than you think. Ask if you're having a difficult time figuring out what skill to learn. There was a time that Storm was offering to teach people graphic design, which we will settle our issue, by the way. He was teaching people graphic design for free, photography for free. You understand? It's some of the ways that we're trying to contribute. I am teaching also young people photography for free, and even those who want to start music, some have reached out to me. The little that I know, I share with them, right? Because these are some of the things that make men depressed. They're trying to figure out life. Young men also, they're trying to figure out, what can I do? I don't know. I've gone to the university. There's no white collar job for me. I'm trying to learn a skill. I don't know what skill to learn. Go into DMs, talk to people, right? It's okay. It's very okay. I think that's what I would have to say. I'd have to say to men.
Connection connected successfully.
Yeah, this is someone who has taught a lot of young people production as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the way that he has contributed. So
actually, so I'd like to say that in the pursuit of all these things, in fact, financial stability, to be exact, right? Don't forget God.
Very important.
God. It's very, very important. Very, very important.
God has to be at the center.
All right, guys. So I think that's it for us this weekend, and I'm sure we're going to see you on the next one. So have a fruitful evening and enjoy your day. Like
Yeah.
Tinubu will say, enjoy your weekend.
Culture.
Peace.